Good evening, everyone, and welcome tonight. Day number 175. We're ready to roll. Full program tonight, full update. A lot of things have been happening on the battlefield today, on the front lines. A lot of terroristic activity. Ukraine is making an adjustment in their strategy. A little crazy. Maximum Mustang, welcome to you, sir, from Germany. R. Dot. Let me say hello to everybody. Let me update you on Jania. It is August the 17th. It's 9:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. out there in California, where our moderator lives. Thank you, Jeffrey Burnett. 4 a.m. over in Ukraine. Jania is asleep. We were working on some things a couple of hours ago. He just couldn't push through tonight. We'll have him tomorrow night. That's the plan. And here's the deal. Today was quite a day, quite a strategy adjustment. A lot of major things happen, and we will be looking at all of them. So thank you for being here. I see all of you guys in the chat, putting where you're from. I see now we have a Midlothian, Virginia, and a Minnesota connection. Isn't it a small world? Yeah. Kind of crazy. So we're going to get into all of that tonight, but I want to start with this. I want to say thank you for all of the Amazon purchases. You guys are doing an amazing job. If you're here tonight and you do not know what I'm talking about, we have set up through our church, which is a 501c3. Edward Dooley, hello, Mississippi. I love Mississippi. With some trauma supplies, good stuff. And you guys are doing great. Stuff will be arriving soon. And as long as it is here by Tuesday of next week, I will hand carry it on Wednesday through Finland, through Poland, and into Ukraine, and down to the front lines. They will be hand delivered with a handshake from all of you. Now, with that said, just look on the Prime list. If there's something here and you say, you know what, let me go buy a tourniquet for these guys, and go to your Prime, your Amazon, and it says, when you hit the shipping, it'll say Bethel Life as a gift, and it comes to us. You will see, it will say arriving Monday by 5 o'clock. You're good. Arriving Tuesday by whatever, 10 o'clock. You're good. No problem. I do not roll out until Wednesday. And actually, I think my flight out is at 5 in the evening on the way over. So that's where we're at. Welcome to you. Only 8 tourniquets. Oh no, that's only 8 you see. We've got one purchase order for 20 of the real ones. They're coming. You don't see all the numbers. You see the numbers when we reset them. Everybody's doing a great job. You're right. Right now you see 8, but we're smoking that. Just keep them coming. 25 have already been bought, and we've already cycled into the next one. So it's amazing what you guys are doing. Keep them coming. Even if I've got to carry a third bag, she's going. We're getting these supplies to these guys. So you're doing a great job. Thank you for that, and keep up the good work. And for all of you tonight, big cheer and congratulations. We will continue this. I will keep talking about this until Friday, I think, and then we'll go off. No, JD, more than 8 have been bought. We've already reset it. You're not catching us. 25 have been bought. We reset the list, and before that, 20 were bought. We're over 50 tourniquets. Don't go by what you see. We're recycling the numbers. We're cooking. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right, it's time to get to it. Thank you very much for being here, and we're going to roll right in. Jane, you'll be with us tomorrow night. Now, with all of that said, today, all around the country, it's been very, very intensive. I have quite a few videos I'm going to show you. We've had some serious strikes in Odessa, massive, down toward the beach, as well. Mikalayov, a very large strike in 3 different locations, one being a university, one being in an outer region of the city, and one being in the very center. 6 cruise missiles did hit And I'm just going to go ahead and say they hit their targets because it's typical that we target universities and hospitals and senior citizen centers. So if that was the target, they're nailing it. Wrapping around, Energodar right now is being shelled right now. Energodar, the city adjacent to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Up above that, we're going from left to right. Nikopol, constant shelling. I have a feeling when we begin to get some footage, video, pictures out of Nikopol, there's not going to be much left. There is not going to be much left. It is constant shelling. Right now, Zaporizhzhia is being struck, and literally right now, I got that information about 5 minutes before the stream went live. We've had 2 hit. That's a good question there, Alex. I'm watching all these screens, guys, so I can see your questions. I see the chat and all of this stuff. Zaporizhzhia just had, it's either 2 or 3 arrivals that were struck. Over in the east, far east, the big circle there, that is all the eastern cities. We're going to look at those specifically here in a few moments. Up above that is Kharkiv. We're going to look at that specific. We've had a terrible tragedy in Kharkiv today. I'm going to give you some insight to that. And then, of course, Sumy and Chernihiv. They're continuing to shell the Sumy and Chernihiv regions. Once again, remember, there is a boatload of troops accumulating up there above Chernihiv. So we shall see, but those are the very active. At the very bottom of the map, Ukraine hit a munitions dump today down below Melitopol and a transport hub. It was a very, very good strike. But my friends, just look at the map. All the red, last 24 hours. Blue, a struggle. We are hitting, we're hitting Donetsk area with military targets, but we need weapons. That's it. Now, you see I put that greater than sign there. You can just see, this is the wrap, the pinch. This is the push, and I still think that straight line down from Sumy to the Transnistria there is going to be the ultimate goal, unless they go for it all. So we'll see, but this is continuing. Now, I want to move and get a little closer and actually give you some detail on it quite a bit more. Mikalayov. So we go down to Mikalayov now. I'm going to show you some video. I've got it translated for you. But a couple of things. You see at the bottom of the map, Kherson, you see the 4 blue X's. These are the 4 great takeouts that Ukraine has done over the past 7 to 10 days. One being the Antonovsky Bridge. They kept hammering on it. Above that, the Kakhovka Bridge. They hammered on it. And then the 2 blue X's closer to the front line are the 2 main highways. They have taken those out of commission. It's fantastic. But what is happening? Russia is responding by increasing the air attacks. Mikalayov was hit very hard today. Very sad. And I've got a little video to show you. This is the mayor of Mikalayov making a very bold statement. As always, I want you to remember what Zelensky said and the Ukrainian way that I've been trying to teach you guys. We're going to communicate through not always humor, but using language to make statements between the lines. You're getting ready to see a direct statement from the mayor here. I'll see if you catch it or not. And of course, you're reading the translation. We'll review it when it's done. Here you go. This is Mikalayov today.
Близько 2-ї ночі в Миколаєві пролунали потужні вибухи, ми нарахували їх 6. На даний момент ми знаємо про те, що 2 з цих вибухів пролунали ось тут біля будівлі Національного університету імені Петра Могили, ще 2 в Корабельному районі і ще 2 в центрі міста. На щастя, ніхто не постраждав, є поранені, легкі поранення у людей, але всі живі. Це моя альма-матер, з ним в мене пов'язано дуже багато приємних спогадів. Тут я познайомився разом із своєю жінкою і взагалі дуже цікаве життя тут було. 2 тижні тому назад ми отримали інформацію з одного з телеграм-каналів Міністерства оборони Росії, що в цьому університеті розміщуються військові, військова база і так далі. Тиждень тому ми зняли сюжет, де показали всьому світові, що тут немає ніяких військових, що відбувається навчальний процес, комісія приймальна приймає документи, жінки, діти крутяться і проводять підготовку до навчального процесу. Миколаївцям не треба пояснювати, бо вони знають, що тут немає військових, тут немає військової техніки, і ми показали це всьому світу. І ось сьогодні вночі вони зробили удар, виправдовуючи своєю писаниною в своїх телеграм-каналах. Знову ж таки, ми показуємо ще раз, що Росія – це держава-терорист, і вона робить все, аби знищити інфраструктуру, знищити наш генофонд і знищити інтелектуальну складову українців.
So there you have it. That's some words directly from the mayor there. So if you caught it, there's a couple of beautiful things there. First of all, the cinematography. The cinematography was, you could see like the library area with the tables, and then they just flashed it on the video, and then you could see the destruction, proving it's a university. Secondly, he says, you know, the people of Mikalayov, we have no questions. We know this is a university. This is our city. So very, very good concepts and thought lines that he has given there. Of course, it's on the media. Of course, Russia media is going to pick this up and watch it and try to change the storyline. But the reality is they're hitting these targets that are not military, not even close. Now, let's take it a step further. Now, I was checking up on the chat. Why is no one running to shelter with air raid warning? Good question. I have the answer for you. It is a major, major push from Kyiv right now. Because this has been happening so often that people are now numb to it. You know, this is not a front line that is moved through, and now it's over and it's pushed on through, and there's no more air raid sirens or warning sirens. It's every day. It's multiple times a day. It's hours a day, and people are growing weary. Last night, remember, the Zhytomyr mayor said to the people, when you hear the siren, get in the safety. I promise you one thing, when I'm there in a few weeks and I hear a siren, I will be leading the people to the shelter. You can put that one in the bank. I'm not playing with it. Now, with all that said, I saw in the chat talking about the Kerch Bridge. We're going to get to that in just a few moments, and I'll give you an update on that. But the big story tonight that is still unfolding is a terroristic strike on a hotel in Kharkiv. Now, this is not just a hotel, but it was a hotel/dormitory. Right now, the latest numbers I have are 7 killed, 17 wounded, and people still in the rubble. So the numbers are going to change. But right now, before going online, 7 and 17, and unfortunately, 11-year-old child lost his life just a few hours ago in this strike. Now, with all of that said, I'm going to show you a little bit of video. Of course, this is Kharkiv. Kharkiv, huge city, but it is being absolutely destroyed. So let's go to this one now. I'm going to show you this first. I'm going to show you 2 videos from Kharkiv. This is all fresh stuff coming out in just the last couple of hours. We'll show you the place first, then we'll go to the search.
Полностью разрушен. По людям не понимаем, сука. Ось вимкнули пожежники світло. Повністю вщент розрушена будівля. 1-200, 1-300 наразі. Свідки кажуть, що людей в гуртожитку було дуже багато.
So what he's saying is, okay, we don't know how many people were in here, but we can tell you there were over 30 people in this building. We're going to have fatalities. We're going to have death. We're hearing people scream in the rubble. That's what he was saying, looking at the building, getting the first footage there. All right, now, with that said, I'm going to take us inside the search in the rubble. I will pre-warn you, You will see no people in the rubble. You will see no blood, nothing, okay? But tonight, I'm pushing the envelope on this one. I want the world's ears to hear. These searchers are doing an amazing job right this minute. Right this minute, 4:17 a.m. in Kharkiv. They're searching. This is what it looks like right now.
Осторожно, осторожно, держи. Не бойся. Держитесь, не бойтесь, не бойтесь.
He's saying, don't move, don't move, don't move.
Кто-то там еще есть? Да, да. Где женщина? Я тут.
Woman, I'm right here. Hang on.
Кому еще помощь нужна?
I need some help over here.
Тут есть кто-то?
Over this way? Yeah.
Вышло тут. Женщины родились или нет? Да какой нахер?
And there he finds her, and I'm going to stop it there. She's wounded, but they get her out. So, a dormitory, a hotel, senior citizens, university students, and children. That, my friends, is terrorism. I saw in there RDOT made the statement, call your representative and ask them to put the pressure on so that Russia would be declared a terroristic state from the United States. Yes, she's safe. She's wounded. I stopped it there, but she's out. Ugly, just very ugly. And I try not to show stuff like that, but that one was pretty hard hitting. It'll hit you. It'll let you see the truth. We're trying to get the truth out to the world, not just during the live stream. There you go, JDO. That's it. That's it. And I know right now we're on the tourniquet push. Yeah, it's genocide. So here you have it. Here you have it. This is the truth right here. It's not just soldiers that need tourniquets. If you have not bought one for the trip, please consider. The link is in the description. The link is in the chat. Please keep purchasing them. We're rolling. So the other video I showed you the other night, just in what, 1 minute time, the older gentleman they were putting a tourniquet on his leg, putting a good one. And then the driver got shot and they were putting a tourniquet on him. They're going through them. And unfortunately, all they have on the front lines is really trash. I don't know how better to say it. It's just not good. And we're buying only good. I've had you guys in here, the military guys, Ricochet, JDO, Steven out of California saying, okay, that's a good one. All right, take that one off the list. That one stinks. We're doing our best, and thank you very much. But that is why right there we're buying tourniquets and chest seals. Now in the east, this is directly out of Kyiv. Avdiivka, Pisky, and Marinka are falling. First of all, there's no people there left. When I say no, of course, stragglers, 100 here, 500 here in these cities of 25, 30, and 35,000 people, maybe 1,000 left, but the cities are dead. They're being leveled, and unfortunately, we're going to lose Avdiivka, Pisky, and Marinka. Now, remember, Marinka down at the bottom, that is on the road with the black arrow that's going towards Zaporizhzhia. Once you passed Marinka, it's open sailing. No big towns, no big cities. Gonna be a completely different warfare. This is why Ukraine needs long-range weapons. Pisky, I've shown you that video a few days ago. Once past Pisky, just look on the map there. There's nothing. There really is nothing. It's farmland, and it's heading straight to Dnipro. And then, of course, up top is Avdiivka. And once that is already empty, it's very, very sad there. But it's just time. And then that city pushes right up to Bakhmut. You know, we've talked about Bakhmut a lot, which is just north there, heading up toward Kramatorsk. I've got a little video out of Bakhmut today. I want to share that with you. And this is what it looks like in this region. And then I'm going to give you an update on Marinka. And I've got the White Angels back in action. It's good stuff. Bakhmut. Now, one of the things I want you to capture there in Bakhmut is this. No people. That's Bakhmut. 100% Bakhmut. Geotagged, confirmed. We've shown you weeks ago how we make sure before we share a video that it is the city we're saying it is. 100% Bakhmut. Zhenya and I have tried to explain and teach you guys about Ukrainian culture, Russian culture, Slavic culture. August the 17th, I cannot even describe to you how many people would be in the streets. It would look like Times Square in New York City. People walking everywhere. So with that said, we see the completely different world. Now, down toward Marinka, White Angels doing their job again. And then we're going to move on and roll through some stuff. These guys are amazing.
А де він там?
Да, прикиданий, я нічого не зроблю.
Руку или что-нибудь.
Плохо. Так, замикаємо хату.
Так, все, деточки, давай. Все, я закрыла, да все закрыла.
С папой пойдешь на рыбалку, да?
Да.
Садитесь. Оп. Давай, давай. Запрыгивай.
Заходи, сыночка.
Оп.
Все, пока.
Все, пока мышечка, давай.
Выходим. Здравствуйте.
Идем, держи. Держи.
Я открою сам.
Давайте, дети, сюда. Все, дети. Счастливо. Вы с супругой, да? Да. Пойдем. Давай. Садись. Здравствуйте. С Маринки людей завалило там. Да. Все, удачи вам.
Знаешь, что это переживает? Что тебя обняла мама, ты.
Садись.
That's my favorite part right there. Just pick her up and carry her in, big man.
Бабуля, палка.
Там еще одна в машине.
Сейчас принесу. Сейчас принесу.
Yeah, obviously, Ukraine, they're monsters, Nazis, and they need to be eliminated. Right. Thank you, White Angels, for what you're doing. But that's Marinka. We're going to lose those cities here pretty soon, but they're empty. So, Zaporizhzhia, I want to give you an update on Zaporizhzhia. And Blake, I did see your question in there. JDO, thank you for the answer. You got it taken care of. I'm going to focus on the data here. Zaporizhzhia preps for assault. So the information has come out of Kyiv, coming down toward Zaporizhzhia. Maybe you're here tonight and you say, okay, PG, I'm not perfect on the Ukrainian geography. Let me show you this real quick, just so we're on the same page here. This is Kyiv right here, and this is Zaporizhzhia down here. The line basically is like this. All right. But Zaporizhzhia is definitely in the target. And the warning came out from Kyiv, and there was a warning from Russia. Very interesting. Kyiv told the Ukrainians that are occupied and unoccupied in the city of Zaporizhzhia. Zaporizhzhia is a city of 750,000 people. It's a big city. They're still all there. I'm sure some have left as refugees, but there's still a large population there trying to keep their country going. Zaporizhzhia was told by Kyiv to prep for an assault. They're seeing the buildup, even with the destruction that has happened in Crimea with munition dumps and air bases and all the great things Ukraine is doing. They're seeing the buildup, and they're telling them to prep for an all-out assault because Russia wants the city of Zaporizhzhia, which would help close out the region of Zaporizhzhia. Now, on the other hand, here you see, this is pictures from today, 3 pictures there. On the left is all propaganda, but it is from Russia. And they have put out a document. They put it on everybody's windshield. That's what the middle picture is. Over in the right, it's inside their car. I have a red circle around the key tag there, which is with the St. George ribbon. What this is telling people how to avoid the HIMARS. You see the picture of the HIMARS up top, and it tells them what to do. It tells them where to go. It tells them what is the best thing to do for safety to defend against the HIMARS. But you know, as Shoigu said yesterday, the HIMARS aren't making any difference in the war. Ukraine adjusts their war strategy. So here it is. This is the title of the program tonight. Ukraine makes a powerful war strategy adjustment. What is the adjustment? This is direct from, of course, the president in his office, but also the supreme commander. They're going to adjust. It's only Ukraine. It's amazing. To a strategy of chaos. The strategy is, instead of trying to fight Russia conventionally, and that is what they have tried to do for 3, 4, and 5 months. They do not have what they need to do that. In fact, I get asked this question many times, and you never see it in the public. Very little information. You'll see where Zelensky said, well, Ukraine's losing 200 soldiers a day. That's the number. But I asked Zhenya a little while ago, I said, man, is there any numbers on the inside? Like when you're talking to the military guys and you're getting information on where you need to go next and what supplies are needed, and you plan the run, you do the run, you're talking to people. One of the guys on our team is a major in the border guard, and he has laid that down to help on the humanitarian side. I asked him, I said, do you have any idea how many Ukrainians have died in this war? He said, yeah, we know. 100,000. 100,000 known. Still have no clue on Mariupol, on the cities that are taken, but 100,000 is the number they're on right now. So Ukraine's been trying to fight this traditional war. Not possible. So they're going to adjust the strategy to chaos, the sabotage. I hate to say this, but the pushing of the buttons, the humor, and I know people are going to laugh, and I'll get a comment probably 3 or 4 in the morning. Okay, haha, so Ukraine's going to win this war by telling a joke. Yeah, they are. They sure are, because they have a mentality to win, and they know how to win. They're not just a bunch of terrorists slinging missiles, and they don't care where they end up. They care about people, and David is going to beat Goliath. You can put it in the bank, period. And yes, laughing, humor, chaos, sabotage, being smarter than the enemy, that's how they're going to win this war. And that is the adjustment. We're going to see it coming out of Kyiv. They're going to be a little bit more chaotic in their war planning, and it is going to be purposeful chaos. It's not just going to be, they're smart, don't worry. It's going to be purposeful chaos, because let me explain in a nutshell. Crimea over the last 7 days has been chaos. Multiple strikes, sabotage, egg on the face. Finally, Russia said, yeah, they got us up there. It wasn't a cigarette. There was sabotage. And on the first event where they said a cigarette was dropped, Putin declared a state of emergency, and you watched 38,000 cars try to flee across that Kerch Bridge. That's chaotic warfare. That's what they're going to continue. You're going to see it in different places. I think going to make a difference. Now, 50% of Mariupol, got an update on that today, has absolutely nothing. Period. No food, no water. I know, you see the videos. Well, they're redoing that theater there for the tribunal. It kind of looks pretty. Yeah, it's all for show. It's propaganda. 50%. In fact, on the left picture there, you see a kitchen sink. You see a water bottle with a string upside down with a little bit of water in it. That's it, folks. There's no water. Okay, I got a little bit of footage, 20, 30 seconds, no sound, because it's very risky to take these videos and try to get them out. Here's Mariupol today. I mean, honestly, some of those ladies' faces looking back at the camera early in the video when they were serving some food, it looked just like World War II. It's terrible. That's Mariupol. Change of command in the Black Sea. Remember chaotic warfare? This is what happens. Crimea, they're boiling in the Kremlin. They have egg on their face, big time. So they've changed the Black Sea commander. Now commanding the Black Sea Fleet is Vice Admiral Viktor Sokolov. He is already pulled the fleet closer into the shore. That was his first action, to get the fleet in and to give them a little bit more safety than just floating out there alone. Earlier in the chat tonight, we keep hearing the question about the Kerch Bridge. Do we take it out? Can we take it out? Should we take it out? Here is my opinion on that. I think Ukraine is absolutely wanting to take it out. It needs to be taken out. It would be such a psychological and logistical destruction to the war machine coming through Crimea. It would be unbelievable. It wouldn't end the war, but man, it would be mega. Absolutely take it out. But I have a feeling. I have a feeling that it's the governments of the West, these NATO nations, that are saying, not yet. Not yet. Maybe it'll get cool in the fall and Mr. Putin will take his tanks home. Well, we know he's not. And yes, I am a full supporter of taking that bridge out, as many are. Many world leaders are. Many in Washington are. They've come out. Many congressmen and senators have come out and said, please let them take the bridge out. It's logical. We'll see. Absolutely, it needs to be taken out. Period. Why? Because Crimea is Ukraine. Tochka. That means period. Very strong word there. Now, on another subject that's directly connected, Russia, China, Belarus, India, beginning August 30 through September the 5th, will be participating in joint war games. These are called the Vostok. And hello, what else do you need to see? Russia, China, Belarus, and India. But remember what China said. Oh, we're not helping Russia any. No, we're even going to cut our economic ties with them. We really want the war to end peacefully. We're not going to help them. Right. India, full bore. Belarus, they're caught in the middle. But this is ugly. Very, very ugly. And it's happening right during the war. Finally, last couple of things. Who is sanctioned? I know Don Giannini loves to ask that question, as well as the Lithuanian foreign minister. Who is sanctioned? Right now, the world is learning a hard lesson. On the left, the chart is, and all of this is from Bloomberg. They've been charting this war economically since it started, and occasionally I use their data. More and more likely, the chance of a euro area recession is now seen at more than 50%. In August, it's climbing above 50%. The possibility of a euro recession. Relentless Records, Europe's benchmark power grid's power price has doubled in just the last 2 months. I can also tell you, in Ukraine, things are getting very expensive very quickly. We have a budget for all the humanitarian aid work we do, fueling of the vehicles, everything. And we're seeing probably a 30% jump in fuel prices coming up. Effective immediately. Ukraine is putting caps on some of the economic things to try to hold things down, but it's a challenge. So the question is, why is Europe struggling so much? And Ukraine, of course, in the war, United States over here, and we're all sanctioning Putin. Just a question. I know the answer. I've told you the answer. Vladimir Putin has been planning for this war for 20 years. 20 years. You say, well, how do you know that? Because you have to know who the president of Ukraine was in 02, 03, 04. And then you have to see the transition to the guy that sold Ukraine down the road. It's been happening. The plan is there, and we're seeing it unfold right in front of our eyes. 86% donation rate. Talking about economics tonight, I want you to see this. 86% of Ukrainians have made a financial contribution to the Ukrainian war effort. That is a huge number. Love to see it 100%, but 86%. And you ready for this one? These numbers were released today. 33% of Ukrainians in the workforce are now volunteering on the humanitarian and the war side to do whatever they can to help win this war. Folks, that's why Ukraine's going to win this war. I'm absolutely confident. Finally, Kyiv releases a general alert. This is for the nation. Please prepare now for winter. I'm going to explain something to you guys as we close out, because here we are, August the 17th. We're a month away from it starting to get cold. And then early October, it'll get cold quick. Prepare now for winter. Residents are urged to stock up on warm blankets and clothes, as it may be very cold this winter. Everyone is asked to prepare warm home clothes, warm blankets, because we do not exclude that the temperature in the houses will be several degrees below the norm. The norm is 21, and they may be 19 or 18. We promise to do everything possible to keep the dwellings warm. Now, for those of you that are Americans or maybe Europeans, You're sitting there, especially Americans. You're going, what do you mean? How are they? Well, first of all, 21's cold. Well, that's Celsius. That's 70 degrees. 1864 degrees Fahrenheit. So you're sitting there and you're going, okay, why are they telling people that their houses may be cold? All they got to do is go over and turn the thermostat up. Doesn't work that way. Yes, now in 2022, there are homes and new residential buildings that do have the technology of individual heat pumps for homes, but the vast majority of Ukrainians live in these large residential buildings. Located throughout Ukraine are over 100,000 boiler plants. They're attached to factories. They're standalone. They're in the basements of large buildings. They're everywhere. Those boiler plants are attached to a grid that pumps either steam or hot water through a system. Where's the system? Throughout the whole city. Those systems will then come into a building where there's a pump, and that pump will push the hot water up into the radiators for the 9-story buildings, the 16-story buildings, and typically they're turned on about October 15th. Now, according to Ukrainian law, they are not allowed to allow the temperature. They're not permitted by law that the temperature can go below 18 degrees in a building. Once it's below that, they have to do something, get people out, whatever. The 18 is the minimum by law. So these systems work together. That's why Kyiv would come out and say, get some blankets. We're going to do our best to keep the temperature at the normal 70 degrees, 21. But it may go down to 19 and 18. We've got to worry about. Plus, the bottom right there, we're having an increase in cost of not only services, but also electricity and gas. Talking to Zhenya a couple of days ago when we were preparing some of this data, he says, man, it's getting expensive. It's getting expensive. So there you have it, folks. You are fully updated. I want to thank you for being here. And for all of you guys, Solovyov boasted that he is yet to be sanctioned by the U.S. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Let me ask a couple questions here. And I do have a video I want to show you guys. Give you a smile on the way out the door. Yeah, so back to the bridge. Just hitting it will have positive results. Agree the West won't allow it. Exactly. Let's see here. Do the bridge. There was another one there. Hey, Neil Stott, welcome from Victoria, Australia. We're growing a large Australian audience. Thank you. There was one more I saw here. What was it? JDO mini homes run off the center steam heat systems. Yep. Russia will also continue to target infrastructure. Absolutely. The closer we get to winter, absolutely. It's going to get very interesting here. And my personal feeling, it's going to be very, very hot going into the winter or the fall when the weather really changes, and it changes fast. Well, folks, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the comments. I did see the question earlier, and JDO took care of it in chat for me. You know, if I go to Amazon and I purchase something, and here's our list here, what's priority? They're all priority. Just whatever moves on your heart or your head, say, you know, hit the button. We'll appreciate it, and forget us. They'll appreciate it. And what's going to be cool? They're going to come straight from you. And I'll probably even be carrying a video clip of this little thing right here and show the soldiers and give a smile on their face, let them know that people care about them. With that said, we'll send you out with a smile tonight. Granny is breaking it down in Kyiv. So what are you talking about? Granny breaking it down. And I can tell you where that's at. I know that building behind them. You don't know where that's at? Right down the street from President Zelensky's office. Right down the street from his office. Right there by Maidan. And Granny is dancing in the street. Is that why Ukraine's going to win the war? Absolutely. I know these people. We're going to win the war. Keep the faith, everybody. Keep supporting. That's the most important thing. Get the truth out. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Like, share, comment. Be here. And together, we're going to do our part. We're going to get the success we need. Be blessed. We'll have the next update for you in 23 hours. You guys have a good night. Peace to you and peace to Ukraine.